You've been at the top of your game. You've faced mortality. You faced physical challenge. You're reinventing yourself almost for the third or fourth time at a very young age. What's the next step?
Trying to rebuild the brand.
Okay.
I knew that not immediately, but I knew eventually with the associates that I had, we couldn't maintain the phobic kind of care that we had provided. That was me. I love doing that, but for a lot of people, it's a pain in the butt, you know, and they'd rather do it in a simpler way. So we started going back to more of the bread and butter type practice. We started having evenings available and really switched, like the brand and the culture completely changed. And I was doing it really to appease associates, to try and keep them in there and working. So that carried on. The production, in the moment, it felt like the production wasn't even close to what it should be, but when I look back at the numbers, they were pretty amazing still. Good. But I couldn't even recognize that because I was in distress during those next 2.5 years.
So you're trying to manage your own emotions, manage the emotions of the team, and then still have a quality practice, provide quality dentistry, and support. How many associates at the time?
I had 3 different ones working, different parts to try and cover off the skill set as much as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you evolve again. You're like this caterpillar, cocoon, butterfly. Caterpillar, cocoon, butterfly. So tell me the butterfly side of the story of where you're at right now.
Well,
and how did you get here? Like, you said you had to reinvent again, and you were going to create a brand, and anyone in Canada, US knows who you are, but how did you get to this level?
So in 2015, the economy started tanking Calgary again with oil prices, and it was like the global financial crisis on steroids. So I decided it was time to pass the torch and let someone else take over my dream. Which again was it was a big decision, but it was relieving. Because I was heartbroken and had, again, kept trying to put one foot in front of the other those last 2.5 years, so it was time to let go. And I'd worked with a lot of mentors. I worked with a lot of gurus during my time, and they helped me to really evolve to a completely different person. And I had learned a lot of really harsh lessons along the way.
Did you learn a lot about people along the way, I'm assuming?
Yes.
You learned a lot about yourself. I'm assuming you saw all different sides of people on that journey.
Absolutely. Yeah. And even within myself, like, you don't expect to lose your career. You don't expect to end up with a physical disability because of it. You don't expect so many things to happen, especially at that young of an age. Like, I thought I was invincible, right? But it's not the truth. So we carried on, and then when the economy changed, sold the practice and decided that I wanted to take what I had learned, the yuckiness as well as the grace from it, and be able to pass on that knowledge to other people and find a way to actually make the most of what had happened.
And from there, you've developed the new company.
Right.
And the new concept, and the title of the company?
My Business Dr. Inc.
My Business Dr. Inc. Tell me about that, because I've been following you for a long time, and it took us forever to connect and finally get to this stage. But tell me, and for those who maybe don't know the story on where that's gone to, and tours across Canada, the United States, and probably international at some point, right?
Yeah. So I started it as a business coaching company for dentists, because that's the majority of the coaching that I had received was in that. So I understood kind of how it worked. And I needed to get my name out there. I didn't really know how, because things had changed. And I didn't have a budget to do radio advertising, TV advertising like I had done. And I didn't think that was going to be appropriate for what I was trying to do either, for creating an international brand. So I got onto LinkedIn and started just messaging people and hoping people would want to talk to me. And
join my fraternity, join my club.
Yeah, and a lot of people didn't want to talk to me. I felt like I was making people really mad by even messaging them. And I understand why. Like, a lot of people on LinkedIn were always sending me messages that were just pitching me on something instead of actually, instead of trying to find out anything about me. And I wasn't really trying to pitch people. I wanted to actually get a feel for what was happening in the market in different parts of North America.
Okay.
So that all started to happen, and I got ignored by a lot of people and deleted by a lot of people. And then eventually...
They will regret that. If you're watching this now, you regret that.
You can always come back.
We'll welcome you back. It's all, you're totally into anonymity.
Yeah. And while I was trying to build that audience, I was also putting out content.
Okay.
And the advice that I was given was really, you need to blend in before you stand out.
Oh,
so I didn't wear my hair the way I normally wear it. I parted it over here and brought curls down on this side so I looked more conservative. I spoke more PC. And it was really uncomfortable for me. Every time I was on on my little video camera, I was worried that my hair was going to move the wrong way or I was going to say something that would come across wrong. And eventually I just went, doesn't matter, I'm going to do whatever I want. Yeah. So I started actually looking the way that I normally look and talking the way that I normally talk, and our engagement almost overnight tripled.
Wow.
Suddenly we
started.
Because
it's authentic all of a sudden, right?
Exactly.
It's really you. That's the person they're getting, and you are now the brand.
Yes.
Right? So
exactly.
The whole look and feel is the brand.
Yes. So a year of doing that, now when I walk into events, people are like, oh, you're Dr. Angela Mulrooney. And they can almost word for word recite my tagline or my little description of who I am on my LinkedIn. And big companies are approaching me to do business with them and help their companies. So a year of really hard work on social media, putting out a lot of content, still trying to start those conversations even when people didn't want to start them with me. Just having that grit to actually keep pushing through to try and get to the other side to start realizing that dream, it has paid off.
Is there one or two key points that you could share that for people that are just sort of entering the social media world and getting on LinkedIn and using platforms like YouTube? Is there one or two things that you found extremely successful for yourself over the last couple of years?
The first thing is actually just be yourself. Don't buy into this blend in before you stand out thing. Be yourself right from the beginning, because then you're going to find the people who actually like you.
Yeah. Whoever you want to be in 5 years, be today.
Exactly.
Whoever you want to be in 10 years, be today, right?
Yeah, and just own your journey. A lot of people go out there and they try and force that they're something that they're not. Okay. And people's BS barometers are really sensitive these days, right?
And people have a ton of time.
Exactly.
So once they've sort of deleted you, that's it,
right?
Exactly. And then they've moved on. So what is it right now on this part of the leg of the tour and the perspectives and the knowledge that you're bringing? What are you sharing on this tour tonight and over the course of Montreal, Ottawa, and back out west?
Teaching them how to leverage social media to really create that credibility and that visibility for themselves. So it was funny because my journey with social media started to get the word out there about my coaching business, but after a year of me doing that, suddenly people started calling me and saying, hey, I've seen what you've done, can you do that for me? Can you teach me how to do it? From the social media side. From the social media side, which was not the intention at all with the coaching company, but now I have a lot of clients in the dental industry and also in the professional industry who are trying to get their name out there. And there's a beautiful formula of how to make it work once you understand the algorithms, and this is the stuff that I teach at the workshops as well, so that if someone wants to do it themselves, they walk away with a tool bag to actually make it happen.
So you've had this incredible journey in actually a very short period of time. We think of how young you are. and your life has gone through every high and pitfall. Right now, where do you see yourself? What's that longevity for you now that you've sort of got your focus? I think you're in your right space. Maybe everything you went through to get here, is it worth it? I think so. All those challenges, everything obviously taught you something. You've learned a ton about yourself. The very fact that you can share that compelling story is amazing, because you're probably that woman who called in that saved your life. This story alone can maybe save somebody else's, and you'll never know them, right? And if you're out there, I hope that helps. What's the 10-year plan? I always ask that of people. Most people don't know how to get through the week and the day. What's a 10-year journey for you?
I'm gonna take over the world.
She's gonna rule the world. Damn it, she stole my journey.
we can
share the world. All right, I want everything below the equator.
I have to freeze my butt off. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. You're very adaptable. I'm much more fragile.
Oh, sure. Right? Have you seen these muscles? Like, come on.
So, no, seriously, what is it? You are going to take over the world, but from your perspective, what success look like to you in the next 10 years? If you had to say, this is where I want to be, and knowing that that's where you're going to go on the journey.
It would really be making a difference in the industry overall. Making it simpler for people, because I really don't want anyone else to go through the same kind of journey that I went through. Right. I learned a lot, but it was not fun, and a lot of it was avoidable if I had different tools. Okay. So teaching them what they need to do to make their life simpler, to be able to access help when they need help, all that kind of stuff is what I want to change in our industry, because my journey is not unique, unfortunately. A lot of people, when they've heard my story, they come up to me afterwards and they're like, that's my story, or that's my colleague's story.
Parts of your life that are touching everyone.
Yeah.
I'll often say that when I'm speaking in a room and somebody raises their hand, whether it's a personal issue, and I'll be like, I'm only speaking to you right now, right? Because nobody else in this room is going through the same problem as you are, knowing very well that there could be 5 or 6 other people that you're affecting simultaneously. And I think if you can get your story out and show your success, and then help people participate in that, because you want to now become involved at as many levels as possible to bring people along that journey, I think it's pretty amazing. How do we get in touch with you?
You can call my cell phone number. Actually, send me a text instead of calling me.
Yeah.
It's 403-975-3267. Or if you want to set up a meeting, which is the better way to go, you can go to info@helpgetmepatientsnow.com, and my lovely assistant Christina will get you set up.
That's awesome. You know, I want to thank Angela for taking the time and allowing me to participate in your lecture tonight and share this time with you. It's been long overdue. We've been talking about having this conversation with Dr. Mulrooney now probably since back in the summer, I guess.
Yes.
And so it's come to fruition. I hope her story has resonated with you. And if you're looking to move your practice and your life and take your journey beyond where you thought possible, please reach out to Angela. She brings a lot of great information. She's a great gal, and I appreciate having her on RX Momentum. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
It's awesome. Thank you.
Yay! Good job.
Well done.